WWE fans are not seeing this with Becky Lynch, and in this video I'm going to tell you what they're not seeing and what you should think about it. So Becky Lynch obviously she's in the headlines right now because she just dropped the Women's World Championship to Liv Morgan at the King and Queen of the Ring PLE over in Saudi Arabia. Also, just quickly, there's a second thing that fans didn't pick up on in just this match, which I'll get to before we get into our main topic. But if you look at Becky Lynch, she is in a very interesting spot in her career. I recently did a video where I was looking at the trajectory of her career, going back to her NXT days, really just being a lost soul. She was over with the fans, she had a connection with the fans, but she wasn't super duper over. She was more of a mid-card talent that was used in the upper mid-card to main event scene when needed, right? Vince McMahon, he used her, but he didn't necessarily love her. And it took quite a bit of years for him to really get behind her, even though she did have a connection with the fan base. In NXT, she kind of felt the same way, even under Triple H's leadership, right? They did various gimmicks with her and really tried to play up on the Irish back story of her, right? Of her personality and where she's come from and everything like that. And it wasn't until 2018 when WWE, they tried to turn her heel against Charlotte Flair, which was a mistake to try to put Lynch as a heel, but more importantly, to try to do it with the help of a Charlotte Flair, who is just a natural heel and not necessarily the greatest babyface in the world. But the fans rallied behind her, and they turned her into a babyface. They got her over as the man, and that is really when her career took off. And while, yes, we will never get the one-on-one match between Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch, we can also thank Nia Jax for doing so, because she broke Becky Lynch's orbital bone when punching her in the face, nixing the Ronda Rousey-Becky Lynch Survivor Series match that year. And we've all seen where Becky has come from, right? Also, if you look at the Women's World Championship match with Liv Morgan, did you notice that Becky really seemed off in this match? I don't know what it was necessarily due to. Maybe she had something personal going on, but if I had to guess, she has never really felt comfortable with going over to Saudi Arabia. Even with her outfits, she tries to mix it up and she tries to get something out of the attire other than just a bodysuit. I don't know. Her matches never click over there, and she's a really good worker, and I just don't know about that. But so let's get into today's video. What are WWE fans not saying about Becky Lynch? Well, so we have a very interesting spot where Becky Lynch, she wins the Women's Elimination Chamber. She earns the right to challenge Rhea Ripley for the championship at WrestleMania 40. Everyone and their dog, including myself, expected Becky Lynch to walk out of WrestleMania as our new Women's World Champion. That didn't happen. Rhea Ripley retained, only to get injured, and WWE had to call upon Becky Lynch to step up. Same Becky Lynch who was slated to take time off from WWE coming out of WrestleMania, took about a week off, returned to television, won a Battle Royale, and became our new Women's World Champion. Fast forward, King and Queen of the Ring PLE, she drops the championship to Liv Morgan due to outside interference with Dominic Mysterio. More on that in a minute. Y'all do realize that Becky Lynch's contract is coming up at the end of this month. Y'all do realize come June 1st, Becky Lynch will no longer be under contract with World Wrestling Entertainment. You do realize that there is a very good chance that we will not see Becky Lynch for quite some time. Think about it. If you have not come to a deal yet, I don't know if you're going to come to a deal by June 1st. I absolutely see this playing out, and I think you should prepare your hearts and your souls for it. I think Becky Lynch does not re-sign with WWE right away. I think she's going to take some time off. Her husband, Seth Rollins, he got surgery last month. He's been off of television since WrestleMania 40. She was already going to take some time off. She's not going to AEW. She's not going to New Japan. She's not going anywhere. she will eventually return to WWE television. I would say probably in the fall, maybe. And she can hang out with her family. She can do some acting stuff. Anything else she's got lined up. She's been on the road. She's been a workhorse for WWE. And so I can see the news coming out that Becky Lynch did not re-sign. Just don't get freaked out and think that she's going to go to AEW or try to, spur upon any kind of speculation like that. I just don't see that. I touched on this in my 3 horrible booking decisions video regarding this PLE. I did not necessarily like the finish of Becky and Morgan. I expected Morgan to win the championship at this event, but I didn't like the fact that you had Dominic Mysterio come in there, and I understand that they're trying to progress the Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio storyline, but I didn't necessarily like the fact that, okay, he tried to give Becky Lynch the chair. Becky Lynch, obviously, as a babyface, refused to take the chair, and then ultimately Liv Morgan used the chair. She hit a DDT to Becky Lynch on the chair, and then she hit her second rope DDT finisher. 1, 2, 3, we have new women's world champion. I understand you want to continue the, tease of Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan, but I think you could have had just Dominic come out there and kind of stare at him, and then that was a distraction to Becky, but we don't know if he intended to do that, because we know that Dominic Mysterio said in the pre-show, hey, look, I'm going to make sure that Rhea Ripley, when she returns, she's going to go after Becky Lynch and make sure that Liv Morgan is not the champion. But it's a bigger picture of like, well, what are they doing with Liv and Dominic? Are they going to do a romantic storyline? Are they going to have him in the middle of like, which one does he choose? Is it a situation where he just continuously screws up in light of Rhea Ripley's return? Like there's multiple ways. And I want to also preference this, like if you look at Becky Lynch, and I also did a video on this, she is a megastar in WWE, and everyone needs to take notice that she's a megastar. She is on the heights of the Roman Reigns' and the Cody Rhodes' and the Rhea Ripley's and Jake Gargil's and stuff like that, where she gets people's attention. And whether or not you notice it, that's up to you. But like, when she's on the marquee, when she's added to a card, you take notice. When she is on television, you watch. When she is doing something on social media, you engage with it. You buy her merch. You buy a ticket to see her if she's added to the marquee. And WWE, even though they're really, really hot right now, I think they're going to fill that. Because if you look at it, you have Roman Reigns. He's off television. Rhea Ripley, she's off television. And now Becky Lynch is going to be off of television. I think they're going to hurt just a little bit. And I think we're going to see that in the months to come, once we get through the summer, once we get into the fall type area. Hey, if you're looking for new pro wrestling merch, we got you covered. Use the promo code START in the description and comments below. I have a link to our merchandise page. Go out there and check it out for free shipping. Use the promo code